Two ancient civilizations, nearly 3 billion people, two nuclear powers, and a rivalry that could shape the future of the 21st century. India and China are not officially enemies, they are major trading partners. Both are rising powers, yet, behind the scenes, they are competing for influence across Asia and beyond. From disputed borders and military standoffs to economic competition and global ambitions, this rivalry has become one of the most important geopolitical stories in the world. But why are India and China rivals? And could this competition define the future of Asia? For centuries, India and China rarely came into direct conflict. Separated by the Himalayas, both civilizations developed independently. But the 20th century changed everything. Modern borders, nationalism, and the rise of two powerful nations transformed neighbors into competitors. Today, India and China are not just fighting over territory, they are competing for power, influence, and leadership in Asia. Together, India and China account for more than one third of humanity. China became the world's manufacturing powerhouse. India became one of the fastest growing major economies. Both nations possess nuclear weapons, massive armies, space programs, rapidly expanding economies. As these countries grow stronger, competition becomes inevitable because history shows that when great power rises, rivalries often follow. The roots of the rivalry can be traced to the Himalayas. India and China shared a border stretching more than 3,000 kilometers, but much of its border remained disputed. The two major flashpoints are Aksai Chin, Arunachal Pradesh. Both countries claim territories controlled by the other, and unlike many international borders, there is no mutual accepted boundary. This disagreement has created tensions for decades. In 1962, tensions erupted into war. China launched a surprise offensive against India. The conflict lasted only a few weeks, but the outcome shocked India. China achieved a decisive victory. The war left deep scars on Indian strategic thinking. Even today, memories of 1962 continue to influence relations between the two countries. Trust has never fully recovered. Despite decades without major war, clashes continue. In 2020, soldiers from both countries fought in the Galwan Valley. Dozens of troops were killed. Remarkably, firearms were not used. Instead, soldiers fought using clubs and stones because of agreements designed to avoid escalation. The incident demonstrated how fragile peace amongst the border remained, and it reminded the world that nuclear powers can still come dangerously close to conflict. Their rivalry extended beyond the battlefield. China's economy is currently much larger than India's. China dominates manufacturing. India dominates service and technology. As companies seek alternatives to China, India hopes to become the next global manufacturing hub. Many experts believe the 21st century could be shaped by competition between these two economic giants. India is increasingly concerned about China's growing presence in the Indian Ocean. China has invested heavily in ports across Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Myanmar. Indian strategists call this the string of pearls. They fear China is building a network of strategic positions surrounding India. China insists these projects are purely economic, but India sees them differently. Pakistan plays a major role in this rivalry. China and Pakistan has developed a close partnership. The China-Pakistan Economic Corridor is one of Beijing's largest infrastructure projects. India views this alliance with concern. From New Delhi's perspective, China and Pakistan create a two-front challenge. This triangle has become one of the most sensitive strategic issues in Asia. Both countries seek influence across the developing world. China launched the Belt and Road Initiative. India has expanded ties with Southeast Asia, Africa, and the Middle East. Meanwhile, India has strengthened relations with the United States, Japan, Australia. Together, these countries form the Quad. Many analysts view the Quad as a response to China's growing power. China currently possesses greater economic and military power, but India has several advantages: a young population, a demographic system, strong ties with Western nations, rapid economic growth. Some experts believe India could eventually emerge as a major counterweight to China. Others argue China will maintain its dominance. The answer may shape the future balance of power in Asia. So why are India and China rivals? Because they share disputed borders, because they compete economically, because they seek influence across Asia, and because two rising powers rarely occupy the same space without friction. This rivalry is not simply about territory, it is about who will shape the future of the world's most important continent. And as both nations continue to rise, the competition between India and China may become one of the defining stories of our century.